All right, good evening, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, depending on what part of the world you are today. My name is Dr. Mo. I'm part of the leadership of the Free Nigeria Movement. We have some of our leaders here. Comrade Mazi is here. We have Obi here. We have Ndidi and Zari. We have Comrade Ango here. We have Jennifer and a few other people who are part of the core leadership team that have protested in the city of Abuja, specifically and particularly in the last 29 days. We were on the street for 20 days plus, and we have certain strategic gatherings and meetings for about 5-6 days. And in the last 4 or 5 days, we have resorted to meeting online as part of our strategic move, not to be able to sustain, because today marks our 29th day of protest, but we have 41 days to May 29, which will be the swearing in of whoever is supposed to be the president of Nigeria. And we are here on the stead of the fraudulent election that has gone on from the 25th of February 2023. And we're saying no to that. We're saying no to everything that has gone wrong, to the killings, to the ballot snatching, to for the decimation of our law, particularly by one man called Professor Yakubu Mahmoud. We are asking that he be sacked, prosecuted, jailed in Nigeria. We're also asking, because we are Nigerians and we will not lose our Nigerianness, we're asking that there should be, you know, a truth and reconciliatory committee that will ensure that every people, all the people that have been killed, maimed, all the people that have been kidnapped during the course of this election, you know, that their families be compensated. Because we are Nigerians, we can't continue to allow lawlessness and people not being held responsible, you know, in this country. We believe that all those who have been harmed, been killed during this 2023 should, you know, be compensated, and therefore it is of utmost importance that those be put in place. We're also asking, you know, that our mandate be returned, and the elections, if it will not be returned, that the election be cancelled. And that's where we're standing, you know, to ensure that we have a Nigeria built on fairness, on credibility, on the rule of law that will allow us to be able to progressively move forward as a nation. This is why we have been meeting for the last 29 days. And here today, we're here to also protest in the same regard. Tomorrow is very symbolic because tomorrow marks the 30th day of our meeting. And after tomorrow, we're going to move completely to another level. I want to say this to those who are attending this meeting for the first time. This is not a place to do analysis. We're not analyzing anything here. This is not a place. If you want to do analysis, you can back channel the leaders. We have a separate meeting when we do analysis, how, what, and when to go about the protest. This is not one of those meetings. Also, we're not here to speak about any religion in this meeting. We're also not here to speak about any political party. Here today is not Labour Party, it's not PDP, it's not APC. Because here with us, we have people from the APC, we have people from the PDP, we have a lot of people from the Labour Party who are holding on to the tenet of truth, of righteousness, of justice, of fairness. We have people in APC who have rejected what has happened. We don't want anybody to steal any vote for P2B or for Atiku. We are Nigerians here. This is why it is a free Nigeria movement, to free Nigeria from every shackle, you know. So we're not here to entertain any parochialism. The 2 minutes, the 60 seconds you have, we need you to protest. Hold leaders accountable. Call their name and shame them. Hold certain institutions accountable, like the INEC, like the police, like the judiciary, like all the committees and the things that have been set up that have failed Nigeria. Hold them accountable. Hold people accountable. This is what we are here. We're sending our vexation, our sorrow, our cry, our prayer, our anger to the appropriate quarters. We are only solely considering national issues. This is what our protest has been about. This is why we move to all the places. And so we're going to allow Comrade Mazi to speak, Obi to speak, Ndidi to speak, Zaire to speak. All our leaders are going to have 2 to 3 minutes to address the issues so that those who are going to speak afterwards will understand exactly and not go off guard, because people are watching this from all over the world and several platforms. This has been going out. In fact, I learned that some of the presidential candidates have been watching this. So we need to stay with our narrative of discussion. We have spoken, speak about all the atrocities going on, the looting, the stealing, the killing, the maiming, speak about it. So the floor is open now. Let's hear you vex, let's hear you anger, and stay with the issues. Let's take it now, and move and protest appropriately and rightly. This is what we are here to do. This is what we'll continue to do. At the end of the day, we'll have a recap where we're going to announce what is going to happen tomorrow as we mark the 30th of our protest non-stop in Abuja, the capital city of Nigeria. Comrade Mazi, are you there? Comrade Mazi, are you there? Zaria Yusuf, are you there?
I am right here.
Please, go ahead.
Yes, thank you so much for the opportunity. As a matter of fact, I will be as brief as possible. I want to charge us and say that it is not over until the Nigerian people win. It is said long before that evil prevails because good men have chosen to do nothing. We have refused to do nothing. We have decided to do something. We stepped out in the rain, in the sun, under the threats of the ruling party, under intimidation by all forms of institutions. We have sustained it this long, and we are not backing down. We will not be the generation that will hand over a failed state to the upcoming generation. We are not going to be that generation where people will look back and say, a challenge came and they decided to be cowards. A warrior king says, if thou faint in the day of adversity, thy strength is small. Our strength is not small. We are not cowards. We are in the day of adversity, and we will continue to demonstrate our resolves. So I call on all Nigerians, I call on mothers, I call on sons, I call on fathers, I call on market men, I call on market women, I call on artisans, those mechanics that think they don't matter. I say, come out, let us make our voice heard loud, let us speak with a big bang. Let us insist for nothing less than our mandate, the mandate of the Nigerian people. And like you have rightly said in conclusion, it's not about any political party. This is the time where the Nigerian people have contested an election and nobody will win other than the Nigerian people. Thank you.
Thank you, comrade. God bless you for that and staying focused as always. We have let's before I call on Lawman, just give the opportunity to some of the leaders. We have Obi, we have Ndidi. Any of them can take the center stage and speak into the narrative. We have Fortune before we move to you. Thank you.
I won't stop protesting. We will not stop protesting until a new Nigeria is rebirthed, until we'll find a new Nigeria where our voices will count, where our graduates will find job, where poor people can find food to eat. You go to market with small money and you are able to feed your family. I won't stop protesting until Nigerian farmers return back to their farms and begin to produce as usual, and food becomes, accessible, becomes easy for the common man in Nigeria to access. I will stop protesting until those that have hijacked our government, those that have hijacked our votes, those that have hijacked our system, let go. I won't stop protesting. We will keep calling them by their names. We will keep causing them. We will keep, cause their generations until they surrender that which they have hijacked from us. Nigerians trooped out and we voted. But Mahmoud Yakubu, only Mahmoud Yakubu, rogue of the century, chose to select just one man, and then put the whole country in mourning. We won't stop protesting. We will not until the cabals in Nigeria let go the government of Nigeria. Let go the giant of Africa. Let go our system. The system we're once proud of. A Nigeria where you could travel by night bus. A Nigeria where you could close your eyes and go to Kaduna and come back. Now we have to pray and fast before you can leave Abuja to go to any part of the north. We won't stop protesting until the bloodsuckers in Nigeria let go the government of Nigeria, let go the system of Nigeria. We won't stop protesting. We will not. In our house, we protest. On the streets, we protest. Everywhere we are, we keep condemning their acts until we see the change we deserve in Nigeria. Until the mandate of Nigerians, of 200 million Nigerians, is reclaimed, we will not stop protesting. We won't.
Thank you. Indeed.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this group again, this protest group, the Free Nigeria Movement. Tonight, I'm actually going to face our healthcare system in this country. I am going to face the healthcare system because when you go outside, when you leave the shores of this country, you find our professionals, doctors, nurses, pharmacists, all those professionals in healthcare all over the world. We are the best. Wherever you go, you will find us there. And you will find us, people will choose us first before they start choosing any other group of people. They will choose Nigerians because they know that we are the best. Yet, look at our healthcare system. Nigerians, ordinary Nigerians, they are in this country, they are life expectancy in this country is about 52 to 54 years old. That's all we have. In a country like Nigeria, where we have very, very, very good professionals, you come here, depression is endemic. You come here, when women are pregnant and go to hospitals, they die because of lack of care. Our system is upside down. Then these same people that have their knees on our necks would leave the country and go outside to get their own treatments because they can't build a hospital or hospitals in this country where the Nigerians can actually get their own medical care. You go into hospitals, you find pregnant women dying. You find babies dying. You find people that are unwell. You find so many people. The healthcare in this country is very, very poor. Yet, Nigeria has the best medical team all around the world. It's a shame. I think it's high time that we start naming and shaming these people wherever they go on this planet. Wherever they go, to Europe, to America, everywhere they go, and they get into the hospital, we need to take pictures of them and we put them online. All these people are going to suffer and die. They will all die. They will all die very difficult deaths. They will never see any good thing in their lives because they have made sure that the things that should be available to the common man. Look at all those children on the streets. They die like chicken every single day, every single day. You know, this is just totally wrong. This is wrong. Even now, Nigerian professionals, I'm talking medical professionals, doctors, nurses, and so on, they have even started banning them, stopping them from coming to practice in Europe. At least I know about England, Britain. That is just such a shame. And even here in Nigeria, I also heard that they are trying to restrict doctors and nurses from leaving the country. What is it? What is going on in this country? What is going on in this country? We must go out and protest. We must keep shouting. We must keep our voices up there and heard, because this cannot continue, not in a country like Nigeria. Assuming we don't have all these very, very talented human beings, we will just take it the way we've seen it. But Nigeria has a lot of talents. Our young people are amazing, incredibly talented. Yet we're out here, they're all there suffering. We really need to go out. There is no way, and a country like this, we're going to watch them put in someone that was selected. It will not happen on our watches. This is not going to happen. This is not going to happen. We'll fight. We'll go out there and we'll do what we need to do to make sure that this doesn't happen in this country. Nigerians are stronger than this. We are smarter than this. So we shouldn't allow this to happen. We must not allow this to happen, because once this happens, then we are on a slippery slope downhill. No one is going to be able to catch us. Forget about Europe and America and all those people. These people will not help us. We are the ones that will help ourselves. We are the ones that will get the needs of these politicians and all these crooks off our necks. We are the ones that will do it. No other person will do it for us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well said. We'll just go straight to Comrade, one of the leaders of the Free Nigeria movement. Honorable Ango is here. Comrade, you have the mic. Please go ahead.
Freedom cometh by struggle. Freedom come by struggle. By struggle. Freedom come. Good evening, brothers and sisters in the struggle, comrades, fellow compatriots. Good evening. It's a thing of joy to be with us this evening to protest. And we are not going to back down. We are not going to stop. We are going to keep pressing on until we get back our country. We are not doing this just for ourselves, but we are doing this for generations unborn. I want to use this opportunity to thank Nigerians, particularly this group. We saw what happened in Adamawa the last 72 hours and how unanimously we all stood up to what happened. It wasn't about the PDP, it wasn't about the APC, but it was about the foundations of this country. It's about passing or bequeathing to the next generation a morally bankrupt country, if what happened in Adamawa State was allowed to stand. I will just call my brother and friend, Dr. Mo, if I'm contesting for an election. I will call him and say, Dr. Mo, just declare me. Or gather media houses around. Declare me to be the winner. That was such that was about to happen in Adamawa. And that it did not stand. Though it shook the foundation, the moral foundations of this country and our democratic ethos and whatever we believed in. But somehow they were able to wiggle themselves out of it. And you will also notice that this criminal we are crying about, Yakubu, was nowhere to be found. As the chairman of INEC, we all expected that he should have been the one speaking on what was happening in Adamawa. But we will notice that he left it to Mr. Okoye, the spokesperson for the commission, to tell you how criminally minded Mahmoud Yakubu is. He left everything that was happening to Mr. Festus Okoye, shamelessly. But like I said before, it goes a long way to say how corrupt he is. And if not, he was also in on the conspiracy to truncate democracy in Adamawa State. And that would have gone far and wide, because a little level unleavened the whole bread, just little east. If what happened in Adamawa State stood, and Nigerians are saying actually that Mr. Hudu actually took cue from Mahmoud Yakubu. Because if Mahmoud Yakubu could declare Bola Ahmed Tinubu president, Mr. Hudu Ari, Abi whatever is his name, also thought he would do the same. If not, he wouldn't have had that impetus to conduct himself the way he conducted. And I'm speaking now, I'm protesting now, that everyone that was involved in that electoral haste, that by extension started from ICC and extended to Yola, everyone involved. We have called for the arrest, prosecution, and jailing of Mahmoud Yakubu. We're also calling for the arrest, prosecution, and jailing of Hudu Yunus Ari, because people like him have no place in the Nigeria we want to bequeath to our children. That is my protest this afternoon. That is my protest this night. And to also say that the price for freedom is internal vigilance. The price of freedom is internal vigilance. We are not going to sleep. We are going to continue to protest until we get our country back. Good evening once again, brothers and sisters, fellow compatriots, and my comrades. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, comrade and leader. Thank you for all you stand for. Thank you all. Thank you for all you continue to do. And thank you for bringing it home rightly, wisely, and aptly, as always. Thank you. Mr. Loman Nzenwa, please, the mic is yours.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I want to take my protests to, first of all, back to INEC again. I still call on Yakub Mahmoud to resign on his own having failed Nigeria, having betrayed Nigeria, and having betrayed trust reposed on him by Nigerians. He made a lot of promises and failed in all the promises. Many people believed him, maybe except people like me that never believed him, because I knew his antecedents from 2019. He had never been a trustworthy umpire. And he manifested it this time around, almost trying to plunge the nation into crisis. So I am saying, and I'm protesting, that he should take a bow and shamefully and dishonorably leave independent National Electoral Commission. Now, beyond that, I take my protest to the business community. Well, what we are saying here is not about me, it's not about you, it's about all of us. When we talk about governance, when we have a failed state, a failed governance, you won't see business to do. So I want them to show concern. I want them to rise up on their feet and be part and parcel of this protest. This exercise cannot be allowed, cannot be left for 10 million people. It should be a 200 million people project. So the business community, wherever they are, whether they are in the corporate world, whether they are in the markets, whether they are anywhere in Nigeria, whatever business they are doing, they should be ready and mobilized to join this protest, online and offline. That is my own protest this evening. Thank you.
Excellently so. Thank you so much for that. Let's go to Chi. Chi, if you're there, the mic is yours. Take your protest and your anger.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, my leader, Dr. Mo. I want to thank you for the privilege, to be part of this and to lend my voice. I want to take my protest to the politicians. And truly, I must say that I'm disappointed with the crop of politicians we have. Growing up, I used to think that the reason people go into politics is to help better the society. But I would say that I'm really disappointed with the politicians we have today. Truly, I don't understand why somebody will want to, vie for a position in the society. He will go to church, go to mosques to go and pray. Then after prayer, they win the election. And instead of doing what they're supposed to do for the society, they amass wealth for themselves and their children, and then allow the same people who voted them in to suffer and languish in poverty. And sometimes I wonder, do these men really fear God?
Chi, are you there, or is your network? Okay, it's your
politicians. You politicians that do everything that happens to you. Hello.
We can hear you now. Your network was breaking. Chi, I think your network is breaking. Maybe we'll take somebody else, then your... go ahead,
okay.
Go ahead.
So I don't understand. Look at the problem, maybe next time. Okay. Okay, look at...
I think your network is really, really breaking. We can barely
You travel
hear you.
by road. It's in Nigeria, you have private jets. Why are politicians? Because they refuse to fix the roads. Maybe next time. Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
We can hear you. The network is just behaving like...
Can you hear?
Mahmoud?
Yes, it's behaving like some of the people who are snatching the ballot boxes. Anyway, it's not your fault, it's a network. Okay, so we'll just wait for you to get your network back. While we do that, I like Samuel Akbar.
Okay, can you hear me? Hello.
Just wait a bit. Let's take 2 more people and then you come in. I'm sure by then your network will be better.
Okay.
Okay. Samuel Akbar, please, you have 2 minutes. Samuel Akbar, your microphone is off. I think what you might need to do, you might need to exit and come back. When you come back, ensure that you enter and click on the what's it called now? When you are entering, you will see a dual pop up. Just click on it, because I can see from here you will not be able to speak. Dr. Emeke, if you are there, please put on your microphone and take your protest and your anger out. Dr. Emeke.
God bless Dr. Mo.
Thank you, sir.
How are you, sir?
We're still alive.
God bless you, my brother. So currently in Makodi. I thank you so much. I've always been thanking you. It's never been easy, and I know that God Almighty will continue to bless you. You know, it takes, and thank God your name is Moses. You know, it took God to
take your. It's not about me, Dr. Meke. You need to, people are listening to you from all over the world. Just take your protest and your anger to the quarters.
It took God to send Moses to make sure that the Israelites, you know, stones were lifted off the head of Israelites. So God bless you, and God bless the obedient movement, and God bless the struggle. So, and also thank you for giving me the platform to lend my voice. Now, I want to say something. You know, in struggle, it could be a lot of different platforms could be used. People can come by physical demonstration, people can come by media demonstration, and registering of anger and frustration. So mine is this, and is basically on the beneficiary of the electoral fraud that deceived the whole world, and that is Mahmoud. Mahmoud, I could recall, went to, can someone remind me, UK, I'm trying to remember the place, the organizer of the program. And
Chatham House.
Chatham House, yes, thank you. And promised the whole world about electronic transmission of results, and in several other places. I would like to suggest that, you know, Chatham House and the organizer of Chatham House are aware of what is going on in Nigeria. Now, what stops us from writing a formal letter to remind them of the character and person of Mahmoud? We have two basic enemies that want to drag Nigeria into the mud, and that is Mahmoud and Bat. So let's leave Bat aside, because if Mahmoud stood by the oath of office and the allegiance to Nigeria, he wouldn't have sold out to the extent that he announced the result even before the total collation of results across the 36 states of the Federation and the FCT. Let's assume that he studied in a language that was not taught in English, that 36 states of the 25% of the states and the FCT 25 states, let's assume that he didn't understand it, but he understood about all he said and promised Nigeria. Because sometimes when I go through the INEC platform, they are not trying to deviate, that the law permits them also to use other means to transmit a result. And that is not what the electoral act, that was the new electoral act, said. So my submission is this: is it not possible for us to remind the Chatham House of the character of the person of Mahmoud. So that will be left for the House for us to decide on and accept. Thank you. All obedience and the great movement.
Well, Dr. Emeke, here is not obedience here. Here are Nigerian people across board from all the political parties who are against the injustice, the fraud, and the bastardization of our electoral law, like you have rightly said. Everything you have said is on point, except the parochialism of a movement, which is much smaller than our collective resolve here today. Aside from that, welcome you to the platform and thank you for lending your voice and your protest. Angel, are you there? Angel Innocent, please take your protest.
Yes, I am here. Yes.
Go ahead.
I'm just dumbfounded and I'm frustrated. You know, we have been talking Mahmoud, as if he's the king of the world, as if he's the owner of government, as if he's the head of the country, as if he's the person that makes law by himself and now choose when to do it or when not to do it. Yes, that is true. Mahmoud is there, but there are authorities over him. People put him there, and those people are not responding. The same cabal of people, when they were doing I knew I grew up as a woman in this country, it's the same way they are doing it. One set of people will come and sit down and control the president, control everybody, and put us under them and sat on top of us. So Mahmoud, we are calling. At times I will just keep quiet about him because he has no authority of himself. Somebody that put him there is people, his government are the one that allow him to be there. Senators are there. The House of Reps are there. The authorities are there. Everybody is there. Nobody is cautioning him. What do you want him to do? They still allow him to continue the same election as well. They did not even call him to say, come, step aside, or come, let me hear, I had a complaint. They all kept quiet. What do you want this poor man to do? He's doing what they have sent him to do. That is true. This is Nigeria about us. This is all about our lifetime. So most of our blame, as far as I'm concerned, is going to the government of the same circuit, the same caliber. People like El-Rufai, people that can come out and talk anyhow, that there is a policy, they don't want this money to be used. Say, don't mind government, we are going to change it. Because you want to make a result, they use Mahmoud to get it. People like Gaduje, that they steal billions and they will keep it and be talking about their religion or whatever they call it. Start deviating people, the normal human being, as if some people are animal or some people have 4 legs while some people have 2 legs. That is the kind of people that are causing the headache in this country. From then, all these people are being placed and appointed by the head, by the government, and they are not doing anything about it. So at times, when I want to talk about this country, I just feel like, in fact, I'm just confused. That is just the truth. Because look at how we sit down here crying every day talking. Nobody is talking as if we are just sticks or we are woods or we don't have anything we are doing, or maybe these people does not have any job. Yeah, they might not give us job, but we'll have a way to sustain our lives. But they don't care and say these people are taking their time. They think we are having fun. They think we are buying data from them, or something, or whatever they call it. Then we'll just sit down here. They don't even care. House of Reps are not even responding. When they go, they continue their affairs. They have stopped the radio, TV broadcasting because of just on the injustice. They have stopped everywhere. They're just doing their thing, covering up and waiting for the D-Day. Let me say the truth. That D-Day will never come. And I'm telling you the truth, I wish people will have the kind of heart I have. That same day, armies will come and shoot me on the street. We will carry and go and sit down. In fact, they're preparing the evening. We are going there to sit down there. Whatever will happen, will happen. Because I can see that without fighting, this country will remain the same thing, and we are tired. We can't continue like this. There must be a change, whether good or bad. God has called this time for a change. There was never anything like this thing we are doing. We are not doing the last 10 years. We didn't do it last 5 years. This is a time God wants a change. There is a change in every stage of life. So let there be a change for a better Nigeria. That is it.
Thank you so much, Angel. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Fortune Onyeka, take your protest up.
Great Nigerian people.
Great.
We are here again. I want to speak to Nigerians. I want to speak to Nigerians. I want to speak to all of us. Let me tell you, right from the day of democracy in Nigeria, the people suffered violence from the politicians. And it is only through violence that the people will take back Nigeria from the politicians. Mark it somewhere. The judiciary has the responsibility to interpret the law and to uphold it. We are a nation called Nigeria because we are guided by laws and by institutions to interpret and to uphold these laws. We are called an entity because we have rules, we have guidelines, principles, we have ethics, and we are bound to live by justice, equity and fairness, love, and common responsibility to one another. Let me tell you, if we Nigerians don't get up to take back this nation, it will remain like this. The issue on ground now is before the judiciary. That is an aspect. They have their responsibility. And we Nigerians that are here, that are over 200 millions in number, we have our responsibility, and that responsibility we have this time around is to mount pressure, on the judiciary. We know over the years they have been corrupted. They have been giving judgment that are unthinkable. But this time around, it's not going to be so, because we'll take back Nigeria by violence. We'll take back Nigeria by force. So I'm urging every Nigerian, the Nigerian youth, the Nigerian women, the Nigerian men, the Nigerian business class, the Nigerian working class. This country is our own. And the judiciary are there to serve us. Without us, they cannot function. So we must mount all the pressure that we need to mount on them to do what is right. The onus is on their table. They have the right to do the right thing, and we will force them to do the right thing. In a few days to come, we will be mounting the streets, and I'm protesting to all the Nigerian people to come out en masse and join the movement. Let us mount the necessary pressure on the judiciary so that we can save this nation. A nation called Nigeria, a nation after God's heart, a nation that is blessed with the highest natural resources you can name off, with the human capital that you can, that is not comparable to any part of the world. Look at Nigerians doing the best in every endeavor. Then at home, we are nothing. At home, we are nothing. Poverty has engulfed everywhere. Insecurity, killings, burning of people's properties, destroying farmlands. Yet we have a government. If we don't wake up this time, and let me tell us, if we don't achieve it in this 2023, it will be difficult. I cannot imagine an Escobar coming to be my president. Bro, you see what is happening in Lagos? That is what would happen all over Nigeria. Nobody will have mouth to speak. So we must not allow it. And this is the time. If anybody telling you that, no, let us wait, let us hold on. Is it not after 4 years? There won't be any 4 years. If we don't do it right this time, we can't get it right again. So I'm urging everyone, in a few days, we are mounting the streets, and there's no going back. There is no going back until May 2020, until May 29th. And that May 29th, if the judiciary is not yet to conclude on the matter, an interim government will be instituted. It is not a bad thing. It is not a difficult thing. It is not an illegitimate thing. It is not an unconstitutional thing for us to have somebody to be in charge until the courts completes its process and a genuine president is given the seat, the leadership seats to run the affairs of Nigeria for the interest of the Nigerian people. I urge everyone of us, let us wake up from everywhere we are and do around. Thank you all, and God bless you.
Thank you, Comrade Onyeka. Thank you for that venting, for that vexation. For the benefit of those who are here today, when we speak about an interim, what we're talking about is what is constitutional is on the 29th of May, should the courts not have arrived at a conclusion with all the pending issues, President Muhammadu Buhari should hand over constitutionally to the Senate President, who will in turn hand over by the 3rd of June to the Chief Justice, wherein a committee will be put in place to appoint a new chairman for INEC and some other areas that will allow for a free and fair, election to be conducted. That is what an interim government is. It's completely and totally different from military takeover. Nobody is asking for that. Nobody is saying we should go back to the dark days and hours, to the evil of the military takeover. But should the right thing not be done and on time by the courts, what we demand is that the president, rather than hand over to an Escobar, should hand over, democratically, as enshrined in our constitution, to the Senate President, and in turn to the Chief Justice. And all of that process is what an interim government is about, for those who don't understand. That was what we did, that the entire country caught fire, and some evil people, spying doctors, went about saying that we were trying to insurrect, and ask the military to take over Nigeria. This is very clear and very simple, and we all understand that. Tonight, we have my brother and friend all the way from abroad. Tese is in the house. He has been with us here, lending his voices and his protest and anger and narrative and shaping where we should be as a country. Tese, the mic is yours. Go ahead and send your protest out tonight.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Mo. Good evening, everyone. Today, I'm going to talk generally, first of all, to the Nigerian people. We as a people, we must have that resolve for a good nation, for what is good for ourselves. I keep thinking every day, I keep looking around, and Nigerians, we take everything for granted, even when our lives are at stake. What is going on in Nigeria? It is the final stage to nail the future of Nigeria and all Nigerians. And if Nigerians, if you don't wake up, tomorrow you might not even have the possibility to even voice out or even cry. As our people say that you beat a child and you after beating the child, you say the child should not also cry. We are heading to that point. But I want to draw our attention for most Nigerians that we have given up. We think that we do not have the power. We have the power. I want to remind every Nigerian. For the first time in history, irrespective of the bad election, the corrupt nature of the elections, where all parties that were in government, whether opposition or ruling party, in their respective areas that they control, we saw the shenanigans they did. We saw what Wike did in Rivers. We saw what that is opposition. We see what other political parties did in their own respective states, and what, of course, the ruling party did through the INEC and Mahmoud Yakubu. But we were able to retire 10 governors that wanted to go to the National Assembly, which is their retiring home. That was your power, the people. We were able to bring in for the first time 8 different political parties in both Senate and the House of and House of Reps, as well as in House of Assembly across the nation. That was your power. We were able to make president, godfathers lose their states. That was your power. So, and it was because you exercise it, just a fraction of it. Imagine if you exercise just a quarter of it, or even a half of it. This is the power of the people. And this is the reason why these people are jittery. These people are doing all everything possible. They are stifling the media. The media cannot even talk. 200 people were buried in, over 200 people were buried in Benue State. No media coverage. 38 people were buried in Southern Kaduna. No media coverage, because they don't want even the media to show this to the world, what is happening in Nigeria, because they are using the instrument of government. The only instrument that they cannot be able to use is your own mouth. And that's why we all need to use our voices. Come out wherever you are, as Dr. Mo always says, whether you are in your room, you are abroad, you are everywhere. Sit before a camera, do whatever you want, do a protest, put it out there. At least 10 people, even if you don't have followers, 10 people randomly might stumble on it and see it. Let's come out on the street and change the narrative. We have the power. We own the country, not some few cabals. Just flash back a memory of your mind. Go back. Since you were born up to now that you are an adult, check the level of development in your village where you come from, and see if there has been any progress whatsoever, whether you are 30 years, you are 20 years, you are 40 years, you are 50 years. Check this and see whether there is any level of development. If you are 30 years, China was not like where it was 30 years ago. Where is China today? So, and then I will give you a simple example in Africa where it is close. Cast your mind back 15 years ago. Where was Rwanda? Rwanda was in ashes. Today, Rwanda is the fastest growing economy and the most developed country in Africa. Because their resources, they are using it the right way. If you go to Rwanda today, you try, it's a crime for you to mention your tribe in Rwanda. If you go to Rwanda, if you ask any person, there are no more Tutsis, or any other tribe. They are just Rwanda. And because of this, Rwanda have been developing at the speed of light. But we in Nigeria, we allow ourselves to be divided against political lines, against religious lines, against tribal lines, or whatever the politician can lay their hands upon, they divide us with. They wanted to steal election recently in Adamawa using the sentiment of the first woman. And they almost succeeded. And who knows the level of corruption of our judiciary? Who knows what will happen to them if the judiciary do the abracadabra again and give a funny judgment? So we Nigerians, we have to rise up. If we really have to change our destiny, if we really want Nigeria to change, if you want the fate of your village and your grandparents and everyone to change, then we need to rise up. Imagine what a good governance will be in just 4 years. In just 4 years, imagine. Since I was born, I've not seen any good government. Even what we tend to be good, when we used to see traffic light, when we used to see running water, it was during the military. And we know what the military rule was back then. Now we are in democracy. We are worse off. But because we have that military mentality, that oppressive mentality, all the people, we are in a civilian administration, but we still think that the military, it is the military, and the government are still ruling us as if we are in a military era. But we must rise up. Even during the military, people stood up to them when they had guns. Now these people only have pens, have pen. Then let's rise up, Nigeria. I challenge each and every Nigerian, wherever you are, abroad, home, wherever you are, let's rise up and take back Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, comrade, as always. While I would say we have come to the end of today, Chinwe has been one person who has been consistent here. Chinwe, you have the closing remark and protest today. Chinwe, the mic is yours.
Great Nigerian people.
Great.
Yeah. Okay, so good evening, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Mo, for this opportunity to vent my anger. I've been observing all along, but today I want to speak. And I'm taking my protest today to our dear President, PMB. I'm protesting on his deliberate and systematic promotion of a certain group of people to key position in the military across the 36 states in the nation. I am protesting against all the annihilation of our people secretly in different parts of the country. Like, I'm very, very angry for all the maiming, all the mayhem, all the evil things that are going on the ground. We cannot even account for them. I am protesting against the unspeakable level of poverty that is ravaging this country. We have a country that is blessed with everything that you can think of. Good weather, good fertile soil. I mean, everything is just at our beck and call, yet our leaders have made it impossible for us to bring the best out of what God has given to us. I'm taking my protest against all those who are supporting evil, even though they know, they can see it, it is glaring that what is happening is wrong, but they support it because of what they think they stand to gain. They should also understand that whatever goes around comes around. They might be enjoying it today. Yes, people will say that there's nobody then put sugar for a mouth where no go leak. But as you leak that sugar, be careful, because things could turn around within the blink of an eye, and you'll be put in the position of those who you are actually, pushing to the wall now. Put yourself in their position. Put yourself in their position. If you think you have somebody in the government, if you think you are benefiting from the evil that is going on right now, The hand of the clock might change at any moment, and you see yourself suffering what other people are suffering. Would you like it? Would you appreciate it if you are in that position to suffer what every other person is suffering? This is my position. This is what I have to say. And I'm saying that if there's anyone who has the capacity, who has the power to do anything, they shouldn't sit on the fence. They shouldn't just watch. They should come out. Let's all come out with everything we have. Let's deploy all the strategies that we can put in place to take back our country. For this country belongs to everyone. I'm speaking in a great woman, Mrs. Aisha Yusuf voice, that I want to live to see a country where the poor man's, where every man's child can go, can take any position. I don't even know exactly how she says it, but I'm saying it that we want a country where everybody can benefit from, where everybody can be happy, where your skills can speak for you, where the value you bring on the table will be what to speak for you. Okay, that's what I'm asking for today. You said I should make the closing remark, so I also want to seize this opportunity to say thank you to everybody that have been showing up, to all those that are patriotic, to all the concerned Nigerians, to all those that call a spade a spade. I know that this struggle will not end as usual. God is in it. God will show up for us. God will stand up for us. If all of us are putting our voice together, even nature will speak for us. The element of nature will fight for us. At a point where we think that there is no going back, there is no way, that we, even as human beings, we do not have anything to do again. The sun, the moon, everything that God has put in place to control this universe will stand up and speak for us. Thank you all. I take my bow at this moment.
Very beautiful and commendable, Chinwe. Thank you for lending your voice, your protest, your anger, and shaping your narrative as concerning and holding the president accountable. You are occupying the seat of the citizen of Nigeria, which is much higher than the position of the president and commander-in-chief. Thank you for lending your voice tonight. We have come to the end of the protest tonight. We had an earlier meeting for those of you who are in Abuja with some of the leadership and people, and if you look, it's going to be published tomorrow in the day position as regarding, and by God's grace, tomorrow we'll be making a deposition at the UN headquarters here in Abuja for those who are available. The time is going to be written on the platform. You can show up. As always, we're coming in black all over. This will be the 5th update that we're going to do to the United Nations. The last time we're there, we're received by Dr. Walter, which is the highest ranking officer at the UN, who promised that our deposition is going to be at the hands of the Secretary General. What we're doing is no small measure. And tomorrow, as we cap in the 30-day, we're going to ensure that that is done. After tomorrow's meeting, we're going to have a subsequent engagement where we're going to listen to people, we're going to strategize, we're going to come together, and we're going to take the protest to another level. After that being said, if you can, join us as we say the second stanza of the national anthem in closing, after the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, come, creation, direct and noble, guide our leaders right, help the truth to know, in love and honesty, to grow and live just and true. Great lofty heights to build a nation, where peace and justice are reigned.
Yeah, my country. to be faithfully and honest, to serve Nigeria with all my
Nigeria with all my strength, to defend her unity,
defend her unity,
and uphold her honor and glory.
So may God.
Good night, all, and God bless you.
Good night, Dr.
Good night, Doc. Good night, everyone.
Well, take care. Bye. Rest well.
Good night, Dr. Mo, and everyone here. Thank you guys.
Good night.
Good night, Dr. Mo. Are we doing our protest tomorrow?
Yes, we are doing protest tomorrow, but our protest tomorrow is a deposition at the UN. The timing is going to be put in the platform, so everybody can know exactly when we'll be there.
Okay, but we're not meeting here on Zoom by 8.
We are going to meet on Zoom by 8 to talk about what we did at the protest and look at some other things we need to do and what we're going to do going forward after marking the 30th day.
Okay, perfect. I just want to know so that I will be around.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Olayinka, thank you for coming and thank you for sending that word. Thank you. God bless you.